Hi guys, and welcome to my first ever Q&A on Instagram and Facebook. Well done you set the questions. I'm going to try and answer them as best I can. So just sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, and let's get straight into it. Where are you from? Well, I am from lots of places, obviously. And I kind of am actually. So I was born in Sydney, Australia. I lived there with my brothers and sisters, mum and dad, until the age of 6. And then my family came over to London, England. But I always feel when people ask me that, sometimes that's not satisfying enough because they look at the way I look and think, hang on a minute, that just doesn't tick that box. So to elaborate on that, my mum's from Leeds in Yorkshire in England, and my dad's from Baghdad in Iraq. So hopefully that will satisfy you guys if you're thinking it looks a bit dark. So yeah, I'm that rare Yorkshire Iraqi mix. That sounds quite well, sounds uber no nonsense. So yeah, there you have it. Oh, I get this question asked more than any. You always want to know about the money, don't you? Do I make a living from hiking? To be honest, right now, no. Since the lockdown, March 2020, it's been a real struggle. And I was kind of half joking on a previous Instagram post when I said I'd gone from the man who hiked the world to the man who walks down to his local shops and back. But it kind of was like that between I don't know, March and June, really nothing going on at all, bit of a scary time. And then fortunately, I got a couple of contracts with the BBC, and in effect, I became the man who hikes the UK, hiked in Cumbria, Northumberland, and that kind of got me out of mischief. So, really delighted to be working with those guys, very prestigious. So, that was really cool. And probably wouldn't have happened if I was hiking the world. So, that was my saving grace. So yeah, I was making a living out of it before lockdown. I hope to be making a good living from it when all of this business finishes. So yeah, fingers crossed. What did you do before the man who hiked the world? Well, I actually worked in a museum on the information desk. It's a museum called the Wallace Collection, which is based in Marylebone in London. And I worked there part time for many years, and I probably spent half of that time at the front desk. Have you ever passed me and thought, he's not paying attention? He's looking somewhere else, he's daydreaming. I was probably dreaming about hiking the world, and it was something that I was doing part time anyway when I was working at the museum. I had gone off to Greenland and Montenegro and some really wonderful places. But it all kind of changed for me when I decided, no, I really want to have a go at journalism and photography. And I just decided to speak to my boss one day and ask to go from 5 days a week to 4 days a week so I could allot a little bit of time towards trying to make this kind of journalism photography thing happen for me. And it took a long time. I had to work for free a lot of the time just to kind of build up my reputation. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy working there. Met some really nice people. I am interested in the arts, so that really helps. But it was never really what I wanted to do. It wasn't my passion. So I feel very fortunate that I have, in a way, as I've alluded to in the previous question, turn my hobby into something that I can make at least some kind of money out of. Top three places I'd visit again. I'm not a big one for going back, I have to say. So I might rephrase this, I will rephrase this question and talk about my top three places that I visited so far. One of them is definitely Kyrgyzstan. This is an unbelievable wilderness, and God, I absolutely loved it. The hiking, hanging out with nomads, living in yurts, riding horses that felt slightly wild. This was really kind of going back to nature. So if you're the type of person that loves checking your notifications, you're not going to like it, because you really have to disperse with all of that technology stuff and immerse yourself in an old way of living. And I loved that. I absolutely loved it to bits. So that'd be my first one. I think secondly, what would I go for? I'd go for the Huayhuash circuit in northern Peru. Some of the best scenery, probably the best alpine scenery I've ever seen in my life. If you plonked this place in North America or in Central Europe, it would have tens of thousands of people going there every year. I remember just hiking with one of the guides there and asking him, what is that beautiful lake called? And he just turned around and just said, like, I don't know, it's just a lake, you know, not bothered about it. There's just something really special about that place. So that's Huayhuash. Google it. Absolutely awesome. Final one, I'm not sure. Maybe Mount Kenya for the diversity of the landscape. Slap bang in the middle of Earth. When you get to the top, the views there are incredible, especially if you hike there very early in the morning, get there for sunrise. You're going to see something absolutely magical. So that would be my top three. What's going on with the with the hair? I don't know. Yeah, it's I guess it's the effects of lockdown. Yeah, I went for it in the first lockdown. It got pretty wild, and then I got it cut, and now it's like my body is Europe, but my hair is Brexit. You know, it's gone independent, doing its own thing, gone rogue. Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess that a guy of my age, is he's still got it. It's the hair, I mean. So yeah, I'll keep rocking it while I've got some. I think that's probably the best way to look at it. Best hiking in Scotland. Yes, Miss Bunny Penny. There are so many to choose from. It's unbelievable. It's a real hiker's paradise up there. How to answer this? I think I would go with the strategy that Scotland will disappoint you only in terms of the weather at some stage on your trip. So, bearing that in mind, I would head off to somewhere like Loch Lomond, where you could do a hike like the Cobbler, aka Ben Arthur. And it's a wonderful hike, by the way, truly magnificent views up there. It's quite gentle as well. It's no big deal. Just at the end, it's a little bit tricky. And if that didn't work out, then you could do some wonderful walks around Loch Lomond. Same with the Isle of Arran, nicknamed Scotland in miniature. You could go up to Goatfell, have a wonderful time up there. If that didn't work out, you've got some lovely beach walks. So that's an option. If I had to choose my absolute favorite, that's very difficult. That's like choosing a favorite, I don't know, album of all time or film of all time. I would go for heading up to the Isle of Skye. If you haven't been there, slap on wrists, naughty naughty, because that is just one of the most awesome places on earth for hikers. I would probably do Blavin. Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite hike. Unbelievable. When you get up to the top, you see the views of the Cullins, like these black mountains. Yeah, it's quite a tricky day out, lots of scree. There's going to be some scrambling involved, but yeah, proper hike. Definitely would recommend that one. How to deal with rejection and heartbreak. Whoa. Should I have a go at this? I'm not sure whether this lady does follow me. Although I've not interacted with her, I don't know whether she's just throwing me a curveball for fun or she seriously wants me to answer it. I'm going to try and answer it seriously. I think obviously the two things can overlap, but I'll deal with the rejection part of it first. In my experience, it depends on on how I'm feeling. If I feel very aware about myself, that I'm dealing with my own problems, that I feel very happy about the way things are going in my life, I'm probably going to be dealing with rejection a lot better um, than if I'm struggling with things, losing my way. And I actually did have that when I was working in the museum. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and probably would have dealt with rejection in not such a good way then. So I think it's about awareness. I think it's about knowing where you're at. And if you're taking it very badly, then it's probably because there's things that you haven't fixed about yourself. So that's what I would think. Heartbreak. I'm going through a mini heartbreak myself. Both my parents have dementia. It's quite advanced now, and seeing them changing from the people that they were before. Got two very fortunate, two great parents. Got a lovely family. Um, yeah, it's tough. Look, if anyone's got the answer and has got the blueprint for this, I'd love to know. I'm not really sure how to answer it. I think I'm quite fortunate that I've got a family that I can speak to. So when I'm feeling down, they're there for me. We can chat and vice versa. And I think the sharing part of it really helps. But I'm not sure whether there's kind of any way out of heartbreak. It's something that we all have to go through in life and sit comfortably with, and accept the pain that goes along with it. So sorry for the guy who's probably waiting for the question about lenses. Probably turned off now. But anyway, I thought I'd give it a shot. I did say ask me anything, so I thought I should follow through with that one. Hey, here we go. Best all-round lens to carry. Guys, if you're just starting with photography, or if you're just starting with photography while you're hiking, I will always recommend just keep the kit lens until you've absolutely decided this is what you want to do, you love it, and then you can take your photography to the next level. And I would recommend buying a lens like the Sigma 18 to 200mm f3.5 DC. Excellent value for money. It's lightweight, which is mega important when you're hiking. Don't want some heavy thing around your neck. It's compact, great value for money. Downside, it's not weather sealed, but I think when you're paying that amount of money, like $350 US, you're not going to get everything that you want. So if the weather turns bad, they just screw off the lens, pop it back in your camera bag, no problem. Have a cup of tea, it's all right. So that would be probably my tip in terms of a lens. But yeah, just make sure that it's what you want to do. Being a photographer is a very expensive business. It can get out of hand. So yeah, make sure that's what you want. Do you travel all the time? No, I don't. I think even before lockdown, I was probably traveling between sort of 2 and 3 months of the year, doing the hikes, doing the travels, doing a bit of work abroad. And most of the time I was back in England with family and friends. I think after, when all the lockdown business finishes, I would love to do something like 5 or 6 months a year abroad, doing those wonderful things, and then coming back and seeing family and friends. I think that would be, for me, I think that would be the ideal balance. Thank you very much. And we're going to call it a day now on the Q&A. I've really enjoyed it. I'm very flattered that anyone's interested in me, and it's been just a fantastic experience to get on the camera and answer some of your wonderful and occasionally testing questions. So let me know how it went. If you want me to do another Q&A, I'll be very happy to do that. If you didn't really enjoy it and you think you've wasted 10 minutes of your life, tell me that as well. It's okay. As you know, I can handle rejection. So it just leaves me to say goodbye, have a good evening, and hopefully I'll chat to you soon.